Hi. Have you ever wanted something so badly that you would do anything to get it? Yeah, I know that feeling too. And if your experience was anything like mine wasn't very fun. What I'm talking about is love, romantic love, and wanting a relationship that would fill you in ways that you've never felt. I know I most certainly am a romantic at heart, and I romanticize love a lot. I believe in fairy tales and unicorns and all these things that we get to read about and experience in cartoons, and we start seeing it when we're little kids. And there's always love stories prevalent in many stories, especially Disney cartoons. So you see and hear about Prince Charming and Cinderella, and you grow up wanting to experience what you read in books. And for me, it really has been a journey of recognizing that there isn't another human that can give me the kind of love that I read in fairy tales unless I can love myself fully and completely as a whole person. And this revelation came with a lot of my internal resistance to finding that I didn't even have self love. Well, it's not that I didn't know because I didn't like myself, but I didn't understand why it was important, why loving myself was important. So basically, I walked out of a relationship fully in love, and it was the hardest thing that I've ever done in my life. And I have mourned family members that I've been close to, and nothing compared to me leaving a relationship that I was fully in love with to learn how to love myself. And I had no idea how to do it. I didn't know how it was going to go, but I knew that I couldn't keep doing what I was doing in the relationship because unfortunately that relationship came with a lot of chaos in the midst of some fun times, about 30% of the time, if I had to put a number to it, maybe 35 if I want to be generous. It was a lot more fighting and unkindness, and from both of us. It wasn't just one party, it was both of us. But it was my greatest mirror to help me to see and ask the question, why was I in such a relationship? And so I sought God further and deeper in ways that I hadn't previously because I was uncomfortable and I was hurting, and I didn't want to hurt anymore. I didn't want to be in that kind of pain. And I'm talking more in my story, it's emotional pain, sadness, a lot of despair. And so I left, and I did everything that I could to not allow my ex to talk to me. And so I didn't answer. Even though it was hard for me to ignore, I did it. And I prayed a lot. And I continued to seek God in alternative ways, in addition to my daily times in prayer and reading the Bible and meditating. I was doing some of that, and that grew throughout the time that after I left my relationship. And I had bought my first crystal prior to leaving that relationship. And so I just really looked for where God was leading me to feed my spirit. And so I'm sharing this story is that I don't have an exact right prescription for how to help you deal with your own heartbreak, or if you're feeling like you're on a cycle of insanity, doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. What I can tell you is that there is freedom once you start putting yourself first and finding wholeness in you and feeding your spirit in however you're guided to do so. And it's not specific to reading a certain book. I highly recommend reading, though, whether you're reading any kind of enlightened material and you're coming from a place of seeking God within you and finding love, because it's not about do this, don't do that, or do more of this and do less of that. It really is about knowing how to forgive yourself and to be compassionate with yourself and gentle with yourself and kind to yourself, and letting go of the judgment and the criticism, or thinking that you're not good enough, or what did you do to cause whatever situation or relationship you are in. It's not anyone's fault. Every relationship that we draw in, whether it's familial or romantic or at a friend level, they serve as teachers for wherever we're at that time in our lives. And whether we're aware of energy and vibration, people tend to mirror our vibration. So if we're feeling low and not very good about ourselves, then we're going to attract more of that than not. I hope you know that you can do it. If you're not in a happy situation, in a romantic relationship right now, or you've left and you're dealing with heartbreak, I can tell you that as you do things that are fun and that you seek ways to cultivate love in your life, you will feel better. And there's that saying that time heals all wounds. It's true. It's true. So true. And I'll tell you that this relationship I'm talking about that brought me into my spiritual evolution, like deepened it tremendously. I have so much love and gratitude for that relationship and for that person. So much. And that love will never, ever, ever be gone, because that person was very, very much part of my journey. So know that everyone that comes into our lives are here. Not a coincidence. We didn't meet them just because. Everything is divinely orchestrated for us to learn and to grow. And when we meet someone that can meet us at the level of when we have grown, those relationships tend to stick. And sometimes there are those of us that we're at the same level very young in our lives, and we learn and grow together. And they're a part of our lives forever. There's that other saying about there are some people that are in our lives for a season, or they're in our lives for a lifetime. Just don't ever be afraid to choose yourself and put yourself first. That's the moral of this video, is you matter most of all. And if you can't advocate for yourself, who will? I'm sending you so much love and encouragement and hope in whatever you're going through.